Hey guys, I'm Tim Langston with Red Dog Bushcraft, and I've been running and gunning all day, and tonight we're going to stop at the cabin for our first snowy overnight truck camping experience of the year. Been wanting to go by there to see what the animal tracks look like in the snow, and this is a good opportunity to do it. It's getting late, let's get her done. All right guys, we have arrived. I'll give you a quick look around. All right, well, we're here. I had to put a hoodie on, and the first thing we got to do is get the back of this thing set up for sleeping, get the mattress out, get a sleeping bag out, and get some heat on back here because it's 21 degrees and it is clear. Left the truck running until I get this stuff set up because it is freezing. All right, let's get this stuff unrolled and packed up. This is the way it stays in the back of the truck. Sleep. Well, good morning. I'm not gonna lie to you, that was a cold night. It was cold when I climbed back here, and man, a little buddy heater, that thing saved the day, but it's a little moist in here. I've never seen this amount of moisture build up, but it's only on the glass. It's kind of down here. I'll show you, but you can see the moisture build up on the window. It's like the lower part down all the way around. It's not as bad where I had that window cracked open. I put just a small crack in it when I was running the heater just to get some fresh air in here and try to cut down on it, the humidity that is. But I did think to set my little jet boil system up, so I'm gonna get that fired up this morning and see if I can't get some hot water going and at least do me some coffee. Got some new coffee we're going to try later, but I just grabbed one of these packets from the hotel last time I stayed there. It's got one of those little pods in it. We're just going to do that right quick just to give me something hot to drink before I jump out of here. So I don't even have a tripod back here, man. I'm doing everything by hand and just setting the phone around, so y'all bear with me a little bit. It's challenging. But I can already tell we're going to see a lot of tracks around the property. I mean, just coming in last night and setting up camp, there's deer tracks all around the cabin. There were actually some coming right down the driveway. That's good. We like having plenty of critters around, no doubt. All right, let's get some water going. This thing. That should be plenty. I don't think that little pods make, very strong coffee. All right, we'll let that get boiled up while I get my shoes on, and we'll get out of here. We'll go out and see what we can find for tracks. Oh, that's pretty weak looking coffee. Pretty weak, I say. Looks more like tan and water. Ain't much to it, but we'll brew up some real coffee here in a few minutes. But at least it's warm and the sun is out, and it feels good. Man, there are tracks all over this place. Let me go get some boots on. We got to go for a little walkabout. All right, so got a little warm liquid going. I'm gonna leave the back end of the rig open. The sun is shining right in the back. Try to dry some stuff out for a little bit. Snow on my shoes last night and the condensation built up on the glass. I'm gonna just try to get everything dried out because gotta go back to work tomorrow, and I'll be living in the back of this rig for in a couple of days. So let's get out here and walk around and see what kind of animal tracks we can see, take some pictures of those. And for our walkabout around the property, a little over 30 acres, half wooded, half pasture, but it's going to be a long trek, zigzagging back and forth. Wouldn't go out without a blade on my side, and this is going to be the LT Wright Luminous 5. It's a big bunch of steel, I'm going to tell you, but it really acts like a smaller knife. I really like the way the handles are shaped on it. The scales are just taken down to where they fit my hand. It's almost like it was a custom rig, and the steel mark on that is X. Tell me in the comments if you know what the X stamp for LT Wright steel is. Maybe I'll share it for you a little later. Kydex sheath, little lock, fire steel on it to match. We'll put that on our belt, put it on our belt and get to walking about. Looks like the deer Appalachian Trail out here. Holy cow. I think they like my orchard area. Deer tracks everywhere. And people too. Oh, wait, that's me. That's a lot of deer tracks. Now here's some canine tracks, and it's 3 different trails come to this one piece of fence at this barbed wire. Now it looks like they're going under that and continuing on the other side. So this little area right here is a little ravine in between 2 pastures. And it looks like a lot of tracks coming together and going right down this ravine. If you continue that way about 100 yards, there's a water source where fresh spring water bubbles right up out of the ground. Looks like they're coming out to feed and then going to get a drink. Here's a nice fire resource. We've got a Old tree that had been weathered, fallen over, up off the ground, and I cut into it, and look at that. Nice, rich, fat wood. So, you can pull that off and keep it with you. You got a nice little something to help you start a fire. Always keep your eye out for resources while you're on walkabout. All right, I'll give you a quick 360. That's back towards the cabin where we came from, where the truck is sitting. And this is my forest. A lot of down pine trees, but all these big, tall hardwood trees is exactly why I was interested in purchasing this piece of property. Absolutely gorgeous rolling land of hardwoods. Man, it's pretty out here. Fallen pine tree. Left a twisted up knotted stump. And if we look at that, we can see where the pine resin was coming out of it. There's another great source of fire starting material. Dig into that. That's going to be some prime fat wood right there. Easy to get a fire started with that. All right, so here is a whole lot of canine tracks all coming together at the corner of the field. And as you can tell, my neighbor has a dog kennel up there. So I think these are domestic dog tracks and part of his kennel of dogs. They're a little different than the ones we saw earlier. Well, the sun is out and I'm down to a hoodie and it is warm. Man, what a difference in the weather. But I'm still going to make me some of that coffee I talked about for the trip home. And this is it. This was given to me for Christmas by my neighbor. It's part of his men's group and it's Tribe 2717 coffee. Proudly produced in the USA. And it's from down around Norfolk somewhere. There you go. So let's open this up, give it a try, see how it does. I'm going to use my little pour over like normal. Give it a good chance. This is kind of cool. It's got a little Ziploc. Smells good. Let's see what the grind looks like. Oh, that's very fine. It's almost like an espresso. All right, we'll get some water boiled up. Let her drip through. This is my favorite way to make coffee, so if it's good coffee, this will bring out the best in it. All right, only takes a couple of minutes to boil water with a jet boil. I'll tell you what, I haven't found them very useful for cooking or anything else, but when it comes to boiling water, it's hard to beat it. It smells good, almost smells sweet. Almost like there's some kind of flavoring or something in it. But it doesn't say anything about a flavoring. It just says medium roast, 100% Arabic coffee. See if I can get that good and close for you. Pretty cool packaging. All right, we'll let that do its thing. You see that nice rich froth that's coming up on top? That's a really good sign. Makes you want to take a spoon and just scoop it off. All right, good to the last drop, they say. Let's see how we did. It's not real dark. pretty rich looking. Let's see. Doesn't have a real strong smell. It's smooth. That's going to be one that doesn't have a lot of aftertaste. Dry. That's good. That's good coffee. Once again, Tribe 2717. Must be a verse. I wonder what that is. I have to look that up. It's got to be a Bible verse. But thank you, Bob. That's a good one. That's a keeper, man. I appreciate it. I like trying these different coffees while we're out camping. It adds to the adventure. All right, let me get this stuff packed up. It's about time to head home. All right, guys, it's about time to head home and get this old rig fired up. Got my coffee all set. That turned out to be really neat. I like that. I wish I had set it up in the back. That little pouch thing that I got the last time I stayed at a hotel, that didn't hit on much, but hey, it got us through until we got something brewed up a little bit better. So that was good. Good hot drink this morning. That really hit the spot. Getting here so late last night, I mean, it was 2 o'clock in the morning getting here, and being able to just crawl up in the back of the truck, turn that heater on, get it warm back there, go to sleep, crack the window a little bit. Now, I do run a gas and CO detector back there. Never had a problem. I've actually checked with that little buddy running in the back of the truck and checked all of the levels and everything, and I've never had an issue. Of course, I didn't seal up the back end of my truck, so it gets air leaks all throughout the bed where it's put together, the tailgate and all of that. But I still crack a window just a little bit just to get some airflow in there, trying to cut down on that humidity, and that was about the most humidity I've ever had build up in the back. But we are coming off of several days of temperatures below freezing, and this truck was totally covered in 5 inches of snow and ice for 2 or 3 days. So if it was ever going to build up, that was the time. All together, it was a good trip. I hope you enjoyed the content. Hope you enjoyed seeing the tracks. There's a lot of different kinds of animal tracks out there. See if you can identify them. If you can, leave it in the comments. And a lot of those tracks had a lighter beside it, and that's a mini Bic lighter, just to give you a size reference of the tracks. A mini Bic, not a full size. So they give you an idea of what the track size was. Spoiler alert, coming up on what I think some of the tracks were. Okay, pretty positive. Identified several different sizes of deer. You got some big boys out here, and there's also a lot of smaller deer. Canine, I'm pretty sure that was some local pets, some dogs that belong to the neighbors and stuff that run around on the property. But there were also some canine prints that looked a lot like coyote, and the way they traveled and where they were coming from, I'm pretty sure we had some coyote tracks there. It'd be interesting to check these game camera cards and see what we catch on that. There was also raccoon, squirrel, birds. I can't identify the birds. I don't know what kind they are. I can just see the little prints where the birds came through. Fox, a little bit lighter of a print, not like your typical house dog or what have you. It's a little bit different, but I'm pretty sure I had some fox prints and they were right in front of the camera, so it'd be interesting to see what's on that. Now, hunting season's over with, and I do not hunt this piece of property, but I do take care and manage my animals with food plots and other food resources for them to help them out, especially when it's like this and there's not a lot of browse out there for them to eat. So we stocked them up good on that, so they should be thankful when the guy in the big white truck showed back up and left them something good to eat for the next few days. I hope you enjoyed this content. It was fun. Always wanted to walk the property and just take a look at the animal movements and the different tracks on the different areas. Most of the movement was in the pastures and the edge of the fields, not that much back in the big hardwoods, but there were some, and plenty. So that was good to see, and it was good to know, and it was a fun trip for me, even though it was that was a long drive here, and getting here that late was a little challenging, but we did it, and it was all good. So thanks for joining me for this adventure. I'll see you on the next one. Until next time, I'm Tim Langston with Red Dog Bushcraft, home of global safety and survival. God bless. Don't forget to buckle up and have some coffee. Cheers, guys. That's a little slick. These tires are great for the road, but I don't think they're the best tire in the world for snowy gravel driveways.